It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl, a special edition. The two teams you're about to meet have won once previously. Today's winner moves on to the semifinal eliminations in this, our 34th year of competition. Let's go over and make sure that everything is working properly. But first, let's meet the players. Let's go to Phyllis E. Williams and say hello to Alastair Riley, Mackenzie Hampton, and Chase Gibson. And from Ridgecrest Elementary School, here are today's players: Cheryl Blackwell, Reddy Denbu, and Andrea Lopez Campos. And now, here are the categories that we use on the Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing, and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's science potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
And here on the Science Board, our game board reflects question difficulty. Questions on the left, 5 and 10 pointers. They get increasingly more difficult, 15, 20, and the toughest question of all, the 25-point question. All of our teams start out at 50 points apiece, no penalties ever for incorrect answers. At the end of the 2 rounds, we will have a team headed to the semifinal eliminations in our elementary competition. Let's go over and make sure everything is working properly before we start. Mackenzie, would you try the red team's buzzer? It looks and sounds just fine. Good luck to you and to Chase and to Alastair. And Reddy, how about the green teams? Also, A-OK. Good luck to you, to Andrea, and to Cheryl. Congratulations, making it this far in the competition, that much closer to a county championship. Let's have a good game. And we go alphabetically, as we often do. P before R, so Phyllis E. Williams and Mackenzie, let's play the bowl.
Body systems for 15.
Body systems for 15 points. Teams, the 3 smallest of your 210 bones are in your ear. In your ear, there's a tiny little bone called a stirrup, a tiny one called an anvil, and a tiny one of these, even though there are no nails.
Hammer.
Mackenzie? A hammer, that's right, the malleus, or the hammer bone. Good answer. Good Red.
Zoo parade for 15.
Zoo parade for 15 points. Teams, the loudest bird in the world is the bellbird. He has very strong six-pack muscles that we know as these. Mackenzie.
Abs.
Yeah, that's right. A bird with abs. It just doesn't register somehow. But that's what gives him the power to belt out those sounds that he makes. Oftentimes those are territorial or mating calls. Go Red.
Green things for 10.
Green things for 10 points. Teams, the wax palm tree is the tallest palm in the world. Lives on the slopes of the Andes Mountains. It would be the tallest tree in the world were it not for these trees that we find.
The redwoods.
Ridgecrest.
Redwoods.
Redwoods in California. You got that right, Reddy. Go. Green.
Body system for 10.
Body system for 10 points. Teams, on pizza, there's a chemical called glutamate inside of the cheese and the pepperoni and the sausage. Those things, that chemical is what makes your mouth do this. Ridgecrest.
Water.
Water, that's right. Then you start to salivate. I can't wait to bite into that slice. All right, 80 to 70. Go Green.
Let's get physical for 10.
Physical for 10 points. Teams, if you know Dr. Seuss, you know that oobleck is made when you mix starch with water. You get this thing, it's not quite a solid, it's a non-Newtonian fluid, meaning it's not a solid, but it's also not a what? Mackenzie?
Liquid.
A liquid, that's right. Thank you, Chase. Go Red.
Green things for 20.
Green things for 20 points. Teams, in the Family Circus comic strip, one of the little boys said to his mom, "Oh, I ate all my grapes and the only thing left is this skeleton." Well, grapes don't grow on skeletons, they grow on these. Ridgecrest.
Vines.
Vines, that's right. Thanks, Andrea. Go. Green.
Let's get physical for 5.
Physical for 5 points. Teams, if something or someone bursts into flames for no reason, we call it spontaneous what? Phyllis C. Williams.
Combustion.
Combustion, that's right. Thank you, Chase, for your help. Go. Red. 5-point lead.
Science potpourri for 15.
Potpourri for 15 points. Teams, vaping, which is all in the news, comes from the word vaporize, which means what turns into what? Ridgecrest. Yes, ma'am? Go ahead.
Just say.
Nope. Phyllis C. Williams, vaporize, the word vaping comes from vaporize, is when what turns into what?
A liquid turns to vapor.
Give me another word.
Gas.
Gas, that's right. A liquid becomes a gas. Nicely done. Go red.
Science potpourri for 20.
Potpourri for 20 points. Teams, if you find yourself in Japan, but you've really never left home, you're probably wearing a pair of these goggles. Phyllis C. Williams.
Virtual reality.
Yes, indeed. You've got a virtual reality goggle. It's really done its job because there you are in the Far East and you're sitting in Landover. Go red.
Zoo parade for 20.
Soup parade for 20 points. Teams, they say that little girls are made of sugar and spice and everything nice. And little boys are made of snips and puppy dog tails and these, which are slugs with shells. Phyllis C.
Snails.
Williams.
Snails.
Snails. Snips and snails and puppy dog tails. Yeah. Talk about generalizing, huh? Go red.
Dateline science for 10.
Dateline, 10 points. Teams, nutritionists say 400 milligrams a day of this stimulant is safe, whether you drink it from cola, coffee, or tea. Phyllis C. Williams.
Caffeine.
Caffeine, yeah. Caffeine, 400 milligrams is about the amount that is maybe 2 cups a day. Some people, of course, consume far more than that. 160 to 90, you got a fast lead here. Go Phyllis C. Williams.
Green things for 15.
15 points in green things. Teams, they found a perfectly preserved man, 5,700 years old, in a glacier that melted. It looked like he had been shot through the shoulder with an arrow, and they found in his possessions this green fuzzy plant that they think helped to stop the bleeding.
Okay.
Ready? It's that green fuzzy plant.
A fern.
Not a fern. Good try. Phyllis C. Williams, what kind of green fuzzy plant might have helped in a medicinal way?
Moss.
Moss is right. Yes, indeed. Good. Well, you're coming up with them. The buzzer says we've come to the end of the first round, and it has been a fast one and a good one. Phyllis C. Williams, 175. Ridgecrest at 90. Lots of points yet to give away. We'll be back with round 2 in just a moment. Don't go away. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you're enjoying this very special game here between two teams that won once previously, vying for the chance to get on to the semifinal eliminations. You know, the last time we talked to Phyllis C. Williams, Mackenzie was telling me all about her wonderful school. Could you tell us again, who's your principal over there?
Dr. Brown.
Yes, indeed. And the coach of your team?
Miss Quinones and Miss Lamont.
And they're both out there cheering for you. And you're wearing blue over there. Is that your school uniform?
Yes, it's our spirit wear.
Very nice. And both you and Alistair are safety patrols. And of course, that's a big responsibility, and I hope you get the respect that you're due when you're over there. Tell us about any alternates on your team.
Joy and Olive.
Wonderful. And we've got just a few moments' time here. What is it about Phyllis C. Williams? Is it a Spanish immersion school? Yes. So does that mean every single class is in Spanish? Yes.
Yes.
So would you consider yourselves fluent in Spanish?
Yes.
Wow. So you think in Spanish and you can think in English at the same time. But that is exactly what immersion is supposed to be. What do you want to do someday, Mackenzie? Would you ever think of becoming a translator, say like at the UN?
I mean, not really, but I could.
Yeah. Why did you want to go into the Spanish immersion program?
I wanted to so I could learn Spanish because it seems like a really cool language.
It's a very cool language, and we have a lot of Hispanics in America, and Spanish is really the second language in many ways. So it is good to be conversant in that. So I applaud your decision to do that. So what are you thinking about when you get older?
I want to be an artist, like do animations.
Animation. I remember you telling me that before. You're such a good player, and you're a detail person. If you're an animator, you're going to need that for sure. Chase, you know an awful lot about science, and you told me before you were a reader. What kind of books do you like to read?
I like to read books about science, sometimes graphic novels, and sometimes just picture books if I'm bored.
Yeah. Well, you know, if you're an omnivorous reader, you know, that means just about any kind of book can appeal to you. And well, we all have our favorites, but reading is very important. You see yourself doing what someday?
I see myself being an inventor and going to Harvard.
Going to Harvard, yeah, because you have a family relative that went to Harvard, so you've got the smarts in your genes over there, and you're certainly proving it here. You're an excellent player. Alistair, nice to have you back. All of you, this is your second year on Science Bowl. Alistair, tell us about yourself. What do you do in your spare time?
I like to play with friends, play video games, karate, sports, like just do a lot of stuff.
Yeah. How many years have you done karate?
This is actually my first year.
Your first year. So what color belt? Do you have a color belt yet?
Yeah, I'm a yellow belt.
A yellow belt. And what's the top? Is it a black belt?
Yeah, black belt, 10th degree black belt.
Yeah, so you've got some work to do yet to get up to that. Where do you see yourself doing someday?
I feel like being an engineer or a marine biologist or a surgeon.
Or a surgeon. Oh, did that just come to your mind here? You've always thought about doing that maybe?
Yeah, well, I've always known a lot about the body.
Yeah, well then that would be a good fit for you. You're a good player, Alistair. Ridgecrest, nice to have you guys back. Ready? Tell us about Ridgecrest. Who's your principal?
Our principal is Miss Shipley.
Wonderful. And who is the sponsor of your team?
Mrs. Allred.
Right, and it will be out here, work very hard to get you ready here because she is a first-time coach, and I know how hard she has worked. Ridgecrest is a very special place. I remember you had a principal there at one time who was not only the Prince George's Teacher of the Year, she was the Principal of the Year.
Yeah.
And she moved on, and she was a great friend to all of us here, Miss Dunn, and your new principal was wonderful as well. Tell us something special about Ridgecrest.
Ridgecrest was working on growth mindset. It's been 1 year. And we also recycle.
You recycle, yes, so a green school, and more of our schools are becoming green. I know we talked about that before, how important that is in today's world where we seem to be defiling so much here on the earth. What do you want to do someday, Reddy?
I don't really know.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
Adults like to ask young people about that, but there's so many options out there, and just keep getting more experiences like this, and something will click. Something will come to you and think, hey, wait a minute, I wouldn't mind doing that. That's why reading and watching things is always good, because you get ideas. Andrea, nice to have you back with us. Why'd you want to do this?
Because my friends forced me to.
Forced you to? Oh my goodness, I don't like to hear that. I would like to think you came here voluntarily because maybe you'd seen it over the years. But now that you're here, do you regret the decision?
No.
I'm glad, because you are a very good player and you're really helping out here as you did last time. And what do you hope to do someday, Andrea?
I want to be a real estate agent or an interior designer.
Wow, I can see, you seem a very stylish young lady. I can see you doing that. And you have a pet rabbit, right?
Yes.
Pet rabbit's name is?
Bambi.
Bambi, yeah. I know, no, if Bambi could watch, I'm sure he'd be watching and recognizing you. Cheryl, nice to have you here today. Young lady has an incipient business for dogs, right? Online?
Yes.
And you want to call your business?
Barks R Us.
Yeah, and what are you going to sell?
Dog food, dog bowls that the person who's buying it can make their own recyclable things, and dog toys. They can also design their dog toys too.
Sounds like dog heaven to me. Yeah, so if you go to your store, you get everything that Rover needs, and you know they're members of the family. So you want to be an entrepreneur. You're a good player, Cheryl, and I like your dream. Let's get back to the game. Ridgecrest has it 90, Phyllis C. Williams 175. Red team is ahead, and they gave me the last correct answer. So Mackenzie, go.
Dateline science for 15.
Dateline science for 15 points. Teams, it is the Chinese who have come up with what they think is a treatment for Alzheimer's disease. They are using kelp, which is this color algae. What color algae is kelp? Ready?
Green.
Not green. No. Phyllis C. Williams, kelp is what color algae?
Lime green.
Brown. It is brown algae. Go again, red.
Science potpourri for 10.
Potpourri for 10 points. Teams, a disease that is not being felt by too many people in this world, and the drugs that they develop to treat those diseases have what same name as a child who has no mother or father. Ridgecrest?
Orphan.
An orphan. Orphan diseases and orphan drugs. Yes. Go. Green.
Physics for 15.
I'm sorry?
Physics for 15.
All right. Physics. Do you say let's get physical?
Yeah.
Physics for 15. All right, teams. Some astronomers think that the great and giant red spot that looks like a giant storm on this largest planet, Ridgecrest?
Largest planet.
Mars.
Largest planet.
Mars.
What do you want?
Neptune?
No. Phyllis C. Williams, the great red spot on this largest planet, please be quiet over there. This great red spot on this largest planet is thought by some astronomers to be getting smaller. Jupiter is the planet, the largest of the planets. Good. Good comeback. Go red.
Let's get physical for 20.
Physical for 20 points is a visual question. Everybody look at the monitor in the studio, please. Let's go to New Mexico, to Carlsbad Caverns. The beautiful rocks in there, those stalactites and stalagmites, they are made of a kind of rock that sounds like a citrus fruit. Name that kind of rock, Mackenzie.
Orange.
Not orange, no. Ridgecrest.
Limestone?
Limestone, that's the answer. Good one. Go green.
Let's get physical for 25.
Physical for 25 points. Teams, when you are cooking a pizza in the oven and it gets nice and crispy, it's because these acids that make up proteins are interacting with the sugars. What acids join together to form proteins? Tough question. Lots of points. Mackenzie.
Glucose.
Not glucose, no. What kinds of acids join together to form proteins? They're called amino acids. Amino acids. Go again, green.
Body systems for 20.
Body systems for 25 points. Teams, someone who is suffering from hemolytic anemia has their body destroying what kinds of cells in itself? What kind of cells are being destroyed, Ridgecrest?
Blood.
Red cells.
Red cells, the red blood cells, indeed. Good. You needed those points. Go green.
Systems for 20.
Body systems for 20 points. That was body systems for 20. Yes? Okay. Correct. Let's turn the light out, please, on the green team. Thank you. All right. So we all set here? Okay. So would you choose again, please?
Body systems for 20.
Body systems for 20 points. 25 is open, but not 20, because we just did the red cells, correct? Okay, so I can give you 25, but 20 is gone if that's what you want.
25.
Okay, 25 points in body systems. Teams, what B, as in boy, B initialed word describes both a kind of tooth and a kind of heart valve? Tough question. Bicuspid, a bicuspid. Go again, green.
Zuparate for 25.
Zuparate for 25 points is a visual question. Look at the monitor in the studio, please. Teams, this bird is called a ptarmigan. It lives farther north than any other bird on Earth, up near the Arctic Circle. During the summer, its feathers are brown. During the winter, its feathers are white, so to camouflage itself, to hide from predators. I'll give you 25 points if you can spell camouflage. Spell camouflage for 25 points. And who is going to be my speller?
Chase.
Who?
Chase.
Chase. All right, Chase, go ahead.
CAMOFLAUGE.
Good try. Good try. Ridgecrest, you can use these points. Who's going to be my speller? Say the word for me. Ready?
Camouflage.
Yes, indeed. Spell camouflage. Go slowly.
CAMAFLOUGE.
You all put the U in the wrong place. CAMOUFLAGE. Nice try. No points. Go green.
Green things for 25.
Green things for 25 points. Teams, if you want to see the best trees, the best variety of local trees, you go to the National Arboretum in Northeast Washington. Spell Arboretum. Let's see if we can do this one. Ridgecrest, are you going to, who's my speller? Andreas, say the word for me, please.
Arboretum.
Arboretum, yes, go ahead.
ARBORITUM.
Very close, very close. Phyllis C. Williams, can you spell Arboretum? Who's going to be, is Chase, you going to do it again?
Yes.
Come on, you can do it.
ARBOR. OTIUM.
ARBOR. You all got arbor. Etum. T-U-M. No points. Green, go.
Potpourri for 25.
Again?
Potpourri for 25.
Potpourri for 25 points. Big one in that category. Teams recently in Montgomery County, a lot of the firemen were scratching. They all came down with a case of scabies. Scabies is an awful rash caused by the bite of these M-initialed...
Mosquitoes?
Not mosquitoes. Phyllis C. Williams. Scabies are caused by bites of these M-initialed arachnids that are related to spiders. Mites. Mites. M-I-T-E-S. Go green.
Dayline size for 25.
Dayline for 25 points. Teams, the moon rocks that were collected by the Apollo astronauts back in 1969, they're 50 years old. They have been spared from contamination all these years because all those rocks were volcanic in origin. They're not sedimentary rocks. They're not metamorphic rocks. Ready?
Igneous.
Yes, indeed, they're igneous rocks. Nicely done. Good, go.
Zooparade for 10.
Zooparade for 10 points. Teams, we know that this man studied birds known as finches in the Galapagos Islands. He also dug for earthworms at Stonehenge. Phyllis C. Williams.
Charles Darwin.
Charles Darwin, that's it, Chase. Good, go red.
Dateline science for 20.
Dateline for 20 points. Teams, John James Audubon, an ornithologist, was the first scientist to put bands on these creatures to follow them as they went through their life. Red.
Turtles.
Not turtles. John James Audubon was an ornithologist, and he banded these creatures so they could be followed throughout their life.
Alligators.
Birds. Birds. He was a bird bander. Go red.
Zooparade for 5.
Zooparade for 5 points. Teams, if something is added to a pile of something and everything collapses as a result, we say that was the straw that broke what animal's back? Mackenzie?
Turtle.
No, not turtle. That was the straw that broke this animal's back.
What animal was that?
The camel. The camel. Go red.
Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. You know, the Tin Man wanted a heart, the lion wanted courage, and the scarecrow in Oz wanted one of these. Mackenzie?
A brain.
He wanted a brain. If only I had a brain. Go.
Science potpourri for 5.
Potpourri for 5 points. Teams, everybody is now eating Impossible burgers. They're totally vegan. They're red because they add beet juice to them, and the 20 grams of protein come from these kinds of vegetables that normally are paired up in a pod.
Peas.
Peas in a pod. Pea protein. We have 2 questions left.
Green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. Chicken Little thought the sky was falling. Really, she just got hit on the head by one of these seeds.
Acorn.
An acorn from an oak tree. And Dateline for 5 points, the last one in the game. Back in 1943, a mechanical engineer invented this toy that looked like a giant spring, and it appeared as a dachshund. Yes?
A slinky?
A slinky in the Toy Story movies. That's right. And we have come to the end of the game, and it looks like Phyllis C. Williams has done it. We'll be back with her wrap-up in just a moment. Don't go away. Good job. Welcome back, everybody. What a great day today on Science Bowl. We had 6 outstanding players here. We had met them once before. We knew it was going to be a good game, and it was. Our final tally today is Ridgecrest 165, Phyllis E. Williams 220. Congratulations, Phyllis E. Williams, Alistair, Mackenzie, Chase, and Olive and Joy. And Miss Lamont, we will see you in the semifinal eliminations. And let's have a round of applause for the Ridgecrest team. Cheryl and Reddy and Andrea. And standing back there, we've got Bertoni and Victoria and Caleb and their principals here, Ms. Shipley and Ms. Allred. This is your first year. What a wonderful debut you had. A wonderful team here. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for being here, too. We'll see you next time on another edition of Science Bowl. I'm Dave Zarin. Until then, bye-bye.